The film was a bit meh, but the game was groundbreaking, and its revolutionary controls are still used by FPS titles today. Hello, it's me Simon, and today we're revisiting the often overlooked PS1 gem, Alien Resurrection. Developers Argonaut were approached by Fox to create a game for the Alien franchise, and work began in early 1996. Argonaut designed a new game engine with an overhead shooter format, inspired by recent game Loaded. Pleased with the prototype, Fox Interactive greenlit the project, which would actually be an adaptation of their upcoming film, Alien Resurrection. As well as a further assignment to create a game that would appear in the movie itself. After a year of working on the game, Argonaut Games decided that the overhead shooter format was outdated. The team restarted development to instead create a 3D action adventure in the vein of Tomb Raider, which had recently been released and was enjoying huge success. Frustrated, a large amount of the development team quit the project after their year's worth of work was scrapped. Morale dropped further when the team were invited to a private screening of Alien Resurrection. Set 200 years after the preceding installment, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection is a sci-fi horror film where the protagonist of the Alien series, Ellen Ripley, is cloned, and an alien queen is surgically removed from her body. The development team found it underwhelming at best, and were even more disappointed that the game they'd made for the film, Atom Zone, only appeared very briefly. The game was originally meant to be released simultaneously with the film in 1997. However, due to technical difficulties with their 3D action adventure, the team was still struggling with their adaptation a year later. In late 1998, a decision was made to change the format a second time to a first-person shooter. Senior designer Christopher Smith recalls that it was a moment where everything went right. If it remained in the other perspective, it would have got cancelled. I'd have put money on that. And so development continued on throughout 1999, with the game finally being released exclusively on the PS1 in late 2000. Almost 3 years after the film had ran its course in theatres. The reaction to the game was initially negative. It was one of the first games to use both analog sticks of the new DualShock controller for simultaneous movement and aiming. Even though this has become the standard for modern day shooters, critics at the time couldn't fathom the new control scheme. Stephen Garrett from GameSpot wrote in his review, "The game's control setup is its most terrifying element. The left analog stick moves you forward, back, and strafes right and left, while the right analog stick turns you and can be used to look up and down. Too often, you'll turn to face a foe and find that your weapon is aimed at the floor or ceiling while the alien gleefully hacks away at your midsection." He went on to give the game a very harsh 4.7 out of 10. Ironically, the twin stick controversy is one of the main reasons the game is still talked about so fondly today. Aside from helping implement the standard for FPS controls, the developers pushed the PS1 to its limit. You'll often find yourself in dimly lit areas with cool shadow and lighting effects. Not only do these areas ooze Alien franchise atmosphere, but they also help hide many of the PS1's imperfections in the darkness. If there was ever an award for the best PS1 corridors, then this game would win hands down. Wouldn't even be a contest. The game also boasts some of the best sound design on the console, with you constantly having to listen through distant ambient noises for aliens in the shadows. When you do hear that oh so familiar screech, it's still scary today. Environmental effects will also help immerse you in the horror setting. One advantage of a game still being worked on in 1999 is that the development team got to play Half-Life, with its influence being plain to see throughout the game. Alien Resurrection also has an abundance of platforms, ladders, and vents. This may not sound like such a big deal nowadays, but 3D multi-level areas present a significant challenge on the PS1. So, what did you think? Cal remembers, so intense and scary, but a brilliant game for its time. Mark commented, was a fun game but massively difficult, almost like a survival horror with its stinginess in ammo and health kits. Victor says, amazing graphics, sound and atmosphere for the time, still think it kind of holds up. The only problem was the difficulty. Man, that was intensely hard. And finally, Martin recalls, insanely difficult, far too dark with no brightness setting. Makes you want to tear your hair out, absolutely unforgiving. So yeah, pretty fun. So overall, we'd say that the consensus is the game is great, if not a little on the hard side. Critics praised the atmosphere, but frequently lambasted the controls and difficulty level. In our opinion, it's still a tough challenge, but if you've had over 20 years of playing console FPS games, then it's not that bad. Okay, it is. But still, what a game, right? Did you own this game? What are your memories? Let us know down in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching. For more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to make sure you don't miss any videos in the future. Cheers!
Access granted.